It's now 5:43, unless my watch is wrong. Today is March 12th, and we are about to start to begin our regularly scheduled CRA meeting, City of North Miami. We'll begin with roll call by the clerk.
Mayor Joseph,
Here? No, it's chairman.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
It doesn't matter? Oh,
Councilwoman Keys,
Here.
Councilman Benjamin, Councilman Desimir. Mayor, we have a quorum.
thank you very much. We'll stand up now for Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. So first, we need a motion for the approval of the last minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Keys to approve the approval of the last minutes. That motion was seconded by Board Member Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
By Keys and Galvin. All opposed? Item passes with a 3-0 vote.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna go ahead with agenda item. Hmm?
A resolution of the chair and board members of the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency authorizing the executive director and NMCRA attorney to negotiate and finalize an agreement with Sinalovsky Romanic Say LLC to provide architectural engineer services for the first phase of the new community center and ancillary improvements project for a contract amount not to exceed $84,000. Authorizing the chairman and executive director to execute the agreement. Authorizing the executive director to take all action necessary to implement the terms of the agreement, providing an effective date and providing the conflicts.
All right, good evening, Mr. Mayor, board members, Alberto Estrade, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you quite simply is a summary of the negotiations between staff and the firm Sinolowski Romanek Say, which was the firm that was selected for this particular project. If you recall, in January of this year, the results of the evaluation committee selecting the firm Sinolowski for the new community center and ancillary improvements project, which is intended to be the project for the replacement of the Griffin Center. Staff has been involved in negotiations with the firm, and this is a summary and basically a culmination of that. What you have before you is the terms and conditions for the initial phase. This initial phase is the programming and scope definition for this project. Involved as part of the services that will be provided by Sinolowski will be meeting with all the stakeholders, including community meetings, meetings with staff and also with the elected officials to develop a final scope and a program for this new community center. In addition to that, Sinolowski will also be providing what's referenced as the due diligence to ensure that they research all of the existing site conditions, whether it be zoning requirements, existing utilities, availability of traffic, etc. They will also be providing periodic progress reports and submitted to staff and also to the elected officials. In addition, they'll also provide estimates of probable construction costs as well as a preliminary schedule for the project itself. Upon conclusion of their work, the firm will provide a final program summary which will document all of the results and their recommendations to be approved by this CRA board, as well as conceptual drawings for the new community center. Here with me also this evening is one of the principals of the firm, Ms. Merrill Romanek. And if you have any questions that you'd like to ask of Ms. Romanek, I'm sure she'll be glad to take them. And if you have any questions for me, I'll also be glad to take them.
No. Okay, actually, there is no one in the audience to the public hearing. So it's just us guys.
Mr. Chairman, my internet is not working here, so just so we can get this cleared up by the council meeting. Where will the community center in question be located?
That, through the chair, that will be a determination made through this process of this scope of work. They will have meetings with the stakeholders, some that we've talked about, JCs and so on and so forth, and we will figure out where the placement of it. I know there's been.
Oh, this is the Griffin.
Yeah, this is Griffin.
That was the answer, Griffin.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. So we've approved this, same question. We're still gonna have input on the location of the actual building, the type of structure, the motif and everything.
And the programming, everything.
Okay, so we haven't.
That's what this process is about.
after we
Developing
choose-
those things.
So we all get an input of what we want it to look like,
Correct.
a square box or a
Or a round
gingerbread
box.
house or something, or what?
A round box.
I don't wanna tell you what I thought I heard you say. Okay, thank you. No
And
more questions.
my internet is now working. I had plugged in the wrong information. All I can repeat and ask is that contact be made with the actual North Miami JCs, who are the building owners nearby, not any other representative of a tenant or anybody like that. If you're not speaking to somebody with the last name Holiday, you're not speaking to the JCs. And the JCs continue to remain a bit in the dark about what
Yeah, they,
may or may not be happening with their property.
yeah, they just made a comment on social media that he had no idea of what was happening.
Right. And
So,
Well,
we continue to make that error. I know who we're talking to. That's a
No,
tenant.
actually, I have been put in touch directly with Mr. Holliday
Okay.
myself, so he will be one of the immediate stakeholders that we are including as part of this process,
Okay.
specifically.
I'd also like to add that one of the byproducts of this whole selection, by just pure happenstance, is that Ms. Romanek actually is very familiar with the site. She's very familiar with this particular center, and in fact, she, I think, is familiar with some of the JCs, and I don't know
Is
if
your
you'd like to.
last name Romanek?
My last name is Romanek.
Yeah, that's, as soon as I heard Romanek, I was like, okay, that's Romanek. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Rebecca, okay.
So many years spent at the JC's building with my uncle and family, so
Gotcha.
familiar.
Is your uncle doing okay?
He's doing fine, thank you. Yeah, he's doing good.
My regards if you remember.
Absolutely will.
That's fine.
Okay, we need a motion.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're
Nah,
excited to
then-
get going.
Okay, are we still gonna have this North Miami Police Department community policing update?
No, we'll have it at the next meeting, sir.
Since we lost Chief, they happily,
Hmm?
since they reassigned somebody, they'll come and do the report.
Next meeting, you mean next month, not
April.
Next,
April.
April?
April meeting.
Okay. Do we have any reports from anyone, any old business, new business? Public comment, there is no public. We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, meeting is adjourned. We are going to come back in exactly 1 hour at 7 p.m. for our regularly scheduled council meeting.